Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. After a couple days of being sad about Crash being a bad map, I decided to play Ground War and looking for the new Ground War map port. I got on it and it was a weird experience for me, beautiful people. I think I had fun. I think I did. I didn't do very well, but the gameplay was a little bit better, and I think it's for a couple reasons, and I want to talk about them. First and foremost, the tank spam was a little more manageable. With the other Ground War maps, especially the farm map and Coursed River Quarry, those maps are horrible with tanks, and even Divorce District, when you go in the roads, it's a roll of the dice if there's going to be a tank nearby. The tanks just need a nerf, but that's going to be a video for a different day. And no Infinity Ward, it's not going to be just a simple make their bullets have bullet drop. No, it needs to be a spawn thing or a health thing or something of that sort. But anyway, moving on, different video for a different day. The tank spam was a little less. Now maybe it's because people just didn't know exactly where to bring their tanks, and I reserve the right to be upset with the tanks on this map as well, but from the couple games that I've experienced, the tanks were not that big of a deal. They were still there, they're still present, but they weren't as spammy as they were in previous Call of Duties, or previous maps. However, the biggest thing, in my opinion, was that this map was narrow. Now this goes against everything that I've said about map design and how I like square maps, complex maps, maps you can flank around with. But there is just something that happens when you have 30 to 64 players on a single map where it just creates this cacophony of chaos and this unbalanced, unpredictable mess of a map. With previous Ground War maps, you can get in a Jeep and you can go to the opposite side of the map easily with no problem. You can capture their flag and it's not a big deal. However, Port here is a narrower map. There's really not a whole lot of leeway going left or right on any of these sides of the map without being noticed by at least a handful of people, which does a couple things. The first thing it does is it creates almost like a front lines sort of effect. If you haven't checked out my Maps of Modern Warfare series with Anya Palace, in that video I talk about how I would love to see momentum be brought back as a game mode. Momentum, or war as it was called in World at War. Momentum was what it was called in Advanced Warfare, that game mode where you slowly progress. You start with the middle of the map and you capture the flags as you push forward the front lines into your enemy spawn. That is what this map feels like. It feels like we're playing momentum. It feels like the conflict is always around the first 3 flags and it's always a push. It's never this, like the farm map can be very chaotic. Somebody has A and B and E, and that, another game it's like you got D, C and A, and it's just this weird, just chaotic mess. This feels a lot more structured, and also what it does is it makes the gameplay just a little bit more predictable. Now, don't get me wrong, you still get shot in the open, you still get shot from behind, it's still sometimes difficult with the details to tell where people are coming from, but at least for me, in the way my brain works, and maybe I'm just stupid, which I reserve the right to say that I'm definitely not smart enough to play Ground War, which is kind of weird to say because that's where everybody goes just to relax. But anyway, I digress. It feels like to me it's a little more logical where enemies are going to be. It's like, well, they have those maps, or they have those flags, and there's really no other way they could go, so they're gonna come this way, which I just described a Treyarch map and exactly why I hate Treyarch maps. But when you have such a vast number of people on this map, I feel like maybe, just maybe, that's almost necessary if you want this sort of aspect of gameplay. I still lost gunfights, I still got sniped, I still got, tanked eventually, of course, and I still feel cheated. I still feel like the game mode is way more random and way less tactical and way less intelligent than even the 6v6 maps we have here in Modern Warfare, but it felt just a little bit better. Also, I think it's a decent marriage of long lines of sight and medium to small encounters. There's a handful of buildings, one of which is vacant from Call of Duty 4, which we are getting this season as a 6v6 map, but with that mentality in my brain of, you know, the C map, the middle of this map, or the C flag, the middle of this map, is vacant. So maybe it's just that mentality of, I have to treat this immediate area like a 6v6 map, and then we can approach the next area like a little map, the next area like a little section. You know, maybe that just brought me into a better logical standpoint. I don't know, but I feel like it's a little bit more controlled. You have your long lines of sight, you have your outside areas where you're gonna get sniped, or you can snipe and you can pick people off, or you can skirt through to get to the next building so you can have your SMG and assault rifle engagements, because there is a lot of that here. There's no small houses like there is on the farm map. There's no small close quartered areas where everybody's in it like there is on Quarry or Divorce District. So this is definitely a radically, I feel like all of these maps are radically different from the next. I know a lot of people say this one's the best, this one's the worst. I think it's hard to tell. I think they're all pretty bad in a lot of ways, but they're bad in different ways, and they play very, very differently. And so I prefer this one, and I prefer the way this map plays to all of the rest. So I just thought with this weird experience, I would share it with you guys. Like I said, I didn't do well on these maps. I just thought, like, logically, the flow of the map made a little bit more sense than the previous Ground War maps that we've had. So it's a good sign. But anyway, that's all I have time for you guys today. Please let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of this new port map? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you not like how it's too constrained? Do you feel like it's pretty limited, like you can't do anything, or whatever you guys may think? Write that down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next absolutely beautiful 1 hour for morning. I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, stay beautiful.